Melee has way more weapons than it knows what to do with, and it makes sense. No weapon is easier to create than a different shaped stick to whack things with. But even with its vast array of options, I find that most people stick to the same slim number of weapons to beat the game every single time. So today, we're going off the beaten trail to see if Melee's often abandoned weapons are more useful than we give them credit for. One criminally underutilized subclass in Melee is the yo-yo class, and we'll just say from the start that, from what I've seen, all yo-yos are generally unused. So instead of utilizing the wood broadsword or copper short sword, we're going to go straight to the wooden yo-yo.
Nuggets. Wait a minute. Hold up. I thought... Alright, we're already hit a hiccup. Alright, how do you make the wooden yo-yo?
Turns out you need cobwebs to make a yo-yo, so we're going to these living trees and hoping that there are cobwebs in a cave at the base of their trunks. We find a mace along the way, but I'm fairly sure the mace is pretty regularly used. So is the spear if I happen to find that, and the upgrade to the mace I think is used about as often as the regular one, though I feel like some people actually don't know it exists.
First underutilized melee weapon, the yo-yo. Huzzah! Look at it go. It is absolutely creaming these slimes. They don't know what hit them. Hi-ya! The sweet sound of plastering gel upon the pavement. Yes.
Slime slain and this house sculpted like Olympus. We head off to cross the surface and search for one thing. The breathing rod, the greatest melee weapon people have overlooked for ages. Along the way, we find the single most exposed desert pyramid I've ever seen with a sandstorm in a bottle inside. Unfortunately, it's now night and we've encountered the corruption.
Oh, my 11 gold.
Fortunately for us, we have options with a second yet to be explored cave on the right side. We have just as good a chance of finding what we're looking for down here. Umbrella is another weapon we could utilize, and if I find a trident, I think I'll use it, but honestly, that one might be a more regularly used weapon. Along the way, we find a cloud in a bottle and mine all the ore we see, not only for armor, but to craft a better short sword because nobody uses short swords. The treasure chest below me had a band of regeneration. Unfortunately, since I can't use that mace I'd found, I had no good weapons against worms, and I'm forced to return home, which gives me a chance to sort my stuff.
There is treasure below me. Oh, what a... I'm gonna scream. Where was that in my 1 mana run?
It's already been pretty clear that my current weapons are not built for all situations.
Wait, why did I open that door? That was not a smart by me. Hold up. No, what are you doing, Bradley?
A better weapon for situations like that is a short sword, and we were able to afford a lead one since we want to get a golden pickaxe. We explored the other side of the world and come across a chest with a wood boomerang. We need this thing for later, but the enchanted boomerang I'm pretty sure is used quite frequently. While it's just a wooden one though, I think it's safe to use because it's so cheap to upgrade. I'm fairly sure very few people use the base wooden boomerang, or at least get rid of it the moment they are capable. And after using it a little bit, yeah, you should just upgrade this thing the moment you get it. And remember how I don't have a good worm weapon? Well, the corruption has bigger worms.
Oh, I was just about to teleport home. Gosh darn it. What happened to my money?
We are playing in master mode, so every time we die, we lose all our money. Love that for us. But why did we need money? So we could purchase our next unused melee weapon, the sickle. For some reason, I thought it would be better than this, but at least I have a weapon that swings over my head. There was this skeleton down here who grabbed a bunch of my money earlier. There's also this really goofy desert treasure room flooded with lava, and lucky me, there's a conch in there, which means we might just be able to get that breathing rod I was after.
There's a shark in here. Jump it. Oh, dude, we jumped the shark. All right, inner tube. That'll be helpful for the other one. Breathing rod me. Let's go. Go. 3 inner tubes? Are you kidding me? I want a breathing rod, darn it. What does a man gotta do to get a breathing rod? Is this because of healthcare? Ah, dude. Now this is what I call affordable housing. All right, to the desert.
Since we had no luck with that, the breathing rod, we're just gonna skip past and go straight to the mandible blade, a weapon that's not too uncommon from desert enemies, and it's fairly common for people to get, but by the time you find the thing, it's already outclassed by any weapon you could get, like the golden broadsword. But with that off the table, mandible blade, here we come.
Oh, ah. Oh, Manual Blade. Let's go. Oh, no, that was an antlion mantle. Darn it. I was so happy. Oh, ah. Darn it. Oh. Get sand in your face, sand in your eyes, sand in your lions. Oh, no. Oh no.
Here's the short and sweet version. I farmed in the desert for over an hour and killed over 150 of the enemies that can drop the Manual Blade. The Manual Blade has a 2% drop chance. If my luck is this bad at the start, I'm not liking how the rest of this run is looking.
There it is.
Will I actually use this thing after spending so long farming for it? Well, I just found the breathing rod, so maybe not. I did actually use it against a few enemies, but there really is no reason you should farm for this thing other than just crafting a gold or platinum broadsword. I could only see it being useful if you just so happen to get it stupid early in the game. There's a reason these weapons are unused after all. While down here, we collect gold, life crystals, and demonite, but the demonite is not for the light's bane, but for the yo-yo, the malaise. Some other underused weapons include things like the falcon blade and swordfish, both of which are fished from the ocean.
Swordfish! Hey!
We also found a gravitation potion, but of course we can't use a star fury. Even so, the horseshoe and balloon would be great.
Wait, hold on, we gotta try. Swordfish! Ah, yes! Ah, swordfish! Yes. The Star Fury, my favorite unused melee weapon. Have you seen anyone use the Star Fury before? No, you haven't. I can guarantee it with 100% certainty.
Oh, and I did craft the malaise yo-yo.
So, the wife's here. Hurry to the Sky Island before she gets inside. Oh no.
And the next weapon on our checklist is another corruption weapon, the Tentacle Spike. We just collected more life crystals underground first real quick and got to work farming for the weapon nobody uses because it's a very early game weapon with a 0.2% drop rate.
Oh, Blood Moon. Actually, that's handy.
I think that proves the point enough. We farmed a good long while, even during a blood moon, and killed about 200 Eaters of Souls, but considering the odds of the Tentacle Spike dropping, it's not like I was being particularly unlucky. With what we got, we should be more than capable of defeating a boss. Now, there are some unused melee weapons we could still collect, like the Chain Knife, Zombie Arm, Bone Sword, Bat, Exotic Scimitar, Falcon Blade, and you could maybe argue the Beam Sword, Storm Spear, Shoomerang, and Ice Boomerang all fall under the general unused melee weapons, and with so many options, we're just going to need to pick and choose here and there throughout the run which ones we use. Maybe I'll have to do another run after this where I can only use the unused melee weapons I didn't use in this one. That's just how many melee weapons there are. But I don't have enough gold to make a slime crown, and no ice summons have been in the chests I've looted. That's why I'm down here in the caves, trying to find either of these things. And the first one that we get is the gold for a slime crown. What are our weapons against King Slime? The malaise, swordfish, trident, and mandible blade. Mainly, we just use the yo-yo. King Slime really is not the friendliest boss for close combat, but I suppose it's a lot easier with an actual arena.
All right, and a little more, just a little more, pokey. All right, we're playing it on the danger side, but you know what? It worked, and no slimy saddle.
Our first boss defeated with these unused melee weapons, and I've got my sights set on the jungle. Generally, you come here for the materials to make one of my all-time favorite weapons, the Blade of Grass. But we are coming down here to get the Thorn Chakram instead. It's actually a weapon I think I've started to see more people use, but overall, I think it's much less used than the Blade of Grass, like significantly so. Loot would be good, but the boomstick isn't exactly helpful. We don't need to kill a whole lot of enemies to make the chakram though, and the yo-yo is great for dealing with the enemies while staying safe.
And it's demonic.
Woo! There aren't many other weapons for us to farm for before the next couple bosses, but a lucky horseshoe would be amazing. So of course, all I find is a Star Fury and a Sky Lake. Guess we'll fight the eye without it, but while we wait for night, we'll return to the jungle and do a little more exploration for loot.
Whoa, dude, what was that? Why were there so many man-eaters? Oh!
Got the feral claws. How'd I forget about those things? Now here's the thing with the eye. I still haven't found a summon, and I keep misremembering the recipe and thinking it's 3 lenses rather than 6. And of course, demon eyes are stubbornly refusing to spawn all night long. So I guess what we'll do with the day is accomplish a fishing quest, because we're going to want good fishing gear, as there are a few unused melee weapons obtained solely through fishing. The traveling merchant appeared. No katana, but he's selling a hunter's cloak.
Sweet, sweet vanity.
King Slime didn't drop the slimy saddle again, and we rush over to the corruption to fish for a purple clubberfish, a weapon that is notoriously too common when fishing in the corruption, at least for me. And much to my relief, that held true here.
Purple clubberfish, let's go.
I still don't have the lenses I need, so in the meantime, I might as well get to building an arena for the Eater of Worlds, and collect a lens while working on that. The thing with the Eater of Worlds is that I usually fight it underground, but without a saddle, and not being allowed to use a mace, that sounded like it would be a bad idea. The worm in general is going to be far more difficult without the 2 most common melee weapons I usually use against it, and I'm pretty sure most people use, the Blade of Grass and Ball of Hurt. But maybe these unused weapons will be better than I think.
I got the tentacle spike! Hey! Let's go, we actually got it!
Having found another lens, we summon the Eye Cthulhu and utilize the tentacle spike against it a bit. It's pretty solid, and someone made the point that it's basically the blood butcherer, and well, it's hard to say that it's not. The stats are stupid similar. The eye, I think, I end up usually using the Blade of Grass against as well. Actually, I doubt I ever fight it pure melee, but with the Thorn Chakram, this boss isn't the biggest hurdle to cross. It's just that final phase that could be problematic.
Okay, buddy, I know. You got the munchies, but I'm not food. Thorbin's friend, not food. There we go.
We head straight to the biggest hurdle of the run yet, the Eater of Worlds. Without a piercing weapon or a large sword, we're going to have to be a lot more creative and are in for a much longer fight. The goblins showed up first though. We whacked them with a big purple fish, found Waldo.
No, don't you kill him. No. No, jerk!
Found Waldo's brother and purchased a counterweight, and then found Waldo again after a long search. Might as well get the horseshoe to combine with the cloud in a balloon, but after finding another island and looking at the map, it sure seems I've found every island. And there are 0 horseshoes. How? I ask, how could that actually be possible? That's so lame, but what's not lame is that I kind of accidentally found all the boomerangs needed to make the Trimarang, which I think is more of a novelty weapon that's good, but not so good that most people would go out of their way to find all of the boomerangs needed to craft the thing. Thank the Lord I was able to make this thing though, because it became an essential part of my Eater of the Worlds battle. But before that, really quick, today's video is sponsored by Noob's Guide, the website built to help you learn new games. The best way to think about it is as an AI-assisted search engine. Now, normally I wouldn't promote AI products, but after playing around with it, I found it was actually something I would recommend to friends I have like Travis if they didn't have someone who knew the game who could also guide them through it. Here's how it works. You simply choose your game, Terraria, and ask it a question like, how to get started. And I've found that the suggestions that it gives are actually really good. And in particular, I love that it says to use the guide NPC at the start. It also has related videos that it will offer, although many times those are not necessarily relevant, but this is also a newer version of the engine and it will improve over time. It also gives you different links to all kinds of different websites that could potentially be helpful. Now, of course, that's not to say that it's perfect. It, like any AI, is prone to imagining things, like it says gypsy robes or mystic robe here. Those are the same thing. Mystic robe just used to be called the gypsy robe, and every here and there, the numbers that it gives are going to be wrong. But after having some time with it, it is something I can comfortably recommend to anybody who is looking to get into a new game. So if you want to get into a new game and need a little bit of help, consider checking out noobsguide.com. Thank you, Noobs Guide, for sponsoring today's video.
All right, we got to get into a good position to tentacle spike this bad boy. Yeah. Oh, we're halfway dead already. Maybe we don't get close to him. There's some damage. Not actually crazy though. Oh, dude. Oh, this is one of the reasons I don't like fighting on the surface. There's so much spit everywhere. The real spitty boy.
Oh, what? So yeah, first battle did not go very well, but now that we have a better idea as to what we're dealing with, and that trying to get close with the tentacle spike is not a good idea, in fact, this second attempt should go much smoother. The real thing holding me back in this battle is that none of these unused weapons have good coverage for the Vile Spit everywhere. I can get close to the worm, but the moment I switch to the tentacle spike or a similar weapon, I'm shot in the back by spit from another part of the worm. This forces me into the unenviable position of needing to fight this thing with a single target weapon and still end up clinging onto life for the majority of the battle. After all, even with these boomerangs, if I throw all 3 of them, I am left without a weapon to clear out the spits unless I am quick enough to switch to another weapon, which I often was not.
Here I was thinking I wouldn't get the Trimarang, and wow, is it good that I decided to make it after all.
It was a long battle, perhaps the longest I've ever had against the Eater of Worlds, where I teased death far more often than I'd like to admit, but as we wound down, using the Clubberfish's higher base damage to clear out the remains, we took down the Eater of Worlds with only underutilized melee weapons.
Nice. It took forever, but we beat it. Let's go.
We take the Shadow Armor upgrade and head to the jungle again to take down Queen Bee. Defeating her, we can craft the High 5 Yo-Yo and hopefully get the Bee's Knees sword. Narrowly failing the first battle, we decide we might as well obtain one particular weapon we can now craft, the Flamerang. But first, we'll need to shimmer the Trimarang. But I totally forgot I need a Nightmare Pickaxe to mine Hellstone, so I fought Queen Bee again, figuring either weapon we can get from her would help a lot against the Eater of Worlds, even though I could totally have shimmered some of my armor to make the pickaxe, mined the Hellstone, and then shimmered the pickaxe for armor again, but that's fine. We won our next 5-minute bout against the Queen Bee.
And now we got a high 5.
Which made defeating Queen Bee a second time mildly easier, and the Eater of Worlds a little easier than that, although dodging the spit became a whole new monster.
Don't get hit by the spit. Don't get hit by the spit. Don't get hit by the spit. No, don't get hit by the spit.
With the pickaxe, we mine Hellstone to make what I now realize is perhaps one of the most overlooked weapons in the game. This boomerang is fantastic, and I'm mining this Hellstone because there is another unused melee weapon I can get now, the Phase Blade, but there's an obvious reason it's not used. It's bad in every single way, but I'm hyped for the 1.45 update to this weapon, which either has come out or will be coming out soon, depending on when I finish this video. The Phase Blade will be getting plenty of press with the update, so let's get back to the Flamerang, a totally ignored boomerang with high damage, or at least I thought it was ignored. I don't know. After I used it, a lot of more people started saying that they used it, but as far as I was aware, it's unused, okay? So that's why we're using it. It's got a great debuff, fast speed to boot. I still understand why people often ignore boomerangs because missing with them sucks. But when you get good, this thing is crazy amazing and carried me through the 1, 2, 3 more Queen Bees I had to defeat to get my grimy hands on the Beekeeper. Now, the Beekeeper and Flamerang are obviously my best weapons here, but I have a Phase Blade and I need to enjoy my time with this weapon while it still sucks.
All right. Phase Blade! Phase Blade! Phase Blade! Phase Blade! Phase Blade! Phase Blade! All right. That's enough Phase Blade. Let's switch to a good weapon. Just a little bit of Beekeeper action here. Ooh, I like the sound of the bees hitting him. Oh, oh no. Oh, so that was a really bad.
Maybe if I had tried a little harder, that would have gone better. While we wait for the next night, we'll defeat one working slime for the slimy saddle, and I was going to do some initial Hellbridge prep, but instead got an obsidian skin potion from like the first pot I broke, so I guess we'll get enough Hellstone for Hellstone armor and take care of another quick fishing quest before we absolutely shred the floating skull with the Flamerang.
We did it! Now let's rush the dungeon. They won't see us coming.
This is one of the places the Beekeeper can really shine, as the bees and confusion caused by the sword are fantastic for crowd control. Are there any unused melee weapons down in the dungeon though? Well, yes, the Muramasa and Valor. But Throrbin, I hear you say. Everybody uses the Muramasa. Yeah, to craft the Knight's Edge, nobody actually uses this thing by itself. It's just the last or second to last sword you grab to craft Melee's OP purple stick. And of course, there's a reason for that. It's not exactly the best. It's actually strangely on tier with the Beekeeper. The Beekeeper is larger, has higher base damage, and spawns bees, but the Muramasa has its blue slash thing ability that apparently has 5 armor penetration. I'm honestly unsure which I would prefer, and both are generally most useful for crowd control if you ask me. Actually, the Muramasa might be better for single targets than the Beekeeper. I think it's actually pretty cool how these two swords are so similar in strength as it is, because you never know what order someone will play the game in or if they'll skip Queen Bee altogether. I like it. I just don't like that you usually toss the Muramasa onto the anvil before you so much as give it a swing. There is one more melee weapon down here too, the Valor, the most boring looking yo-yo that I think looks too much like the wooden one. Now, if you've been enjoying the video up to this point, be sure to subscribe and let me know what melee weapons you think are absolutely underutilized, and if there are ones that I used in this one that you think everybody uses.
A demon scythe. Oh, that's nice.
Now, this puts us solidly in what may just be the most difficult part of this run, defeating the Wall of Fresh. I've never managed to accomplish this as pure melee with a Knight's Edge, so how I'm going to do this without melee's key weapon is an open question. We're definitely going to need a Hellbridge for this battle, and we'll hunt down the Dark Lance and Sun Fury.
Kaboom! Yes, Rico! Kaboom. Darn it, I was early. Sun Fury!
We're going to be smart about this. We're going to chug every potion conceivable to ensure our victory against the wall, and we need to return to the dungeon for an alchemy table to save on the very few fish we've managed to catch. I'd also forgotten to get a Cobalt shield, but now we have an obsidian one. These are the potions we're going to use, including even a few of the limited life force potions you can find in pre-hard mode.
Oh, how did I miss? I missed the broadside of a barn. All right, can we bees? Can we bees? Oh, we can bees, chat. We can bees. Oh, this is actually doing a really good job, actually. It's holding them back, and it's, ooh. All right, solid Beekeeper showing up.
With the hungries largely gone, we use the Dark Lance to deal a lot of damage as fast as possible, but the wall keeps making more hungry at the far ends of its fleshiness, and they'll hit me from behind, forcing me to flee after not too long. But the problem with running is that the wall gets a chance to restore all of its hungry.
Dude, and it's already like recouped almost all of its... Dude, oh, this is tough. Ugh. All right, we just gotta clear him fast, Oh, I died. Oh, I didn't realize that that low. Oh.
We didn't even get the wall to half health. We wasted one of our life force potions. So we start reforging our accessories. Was hoping for defense, but ended up with a whole lot of lucky real quickly, and with limited funds, I guess we'll just take that and go for a max crit build. We must also be ready for when the wall accelerates, so we find an anklet of wind and craft a lightning boots. Sensing a future need for potions, we set up a crude garden. Hopefully, with these upgrades and a greater understanding as to what we're against, we'll have everything we need to clear the wall.
Using bees for this part might actually be the play. It does a good job of keeping them back while also letting out bees that might hit the wall itself. Good. Oh, dang, damage. Lots of damage. Dealt to me. Maybe the houses will be just that much easier for us to handle this thing in. Maybe we need to do something like a tunnel. Dude, what are you doing this? I'm not gonna have any life force potions after this either. It can only get harder. Oh, dude, we're already past halfway through the world. There's no chance. Come on. Have the heart, I guess. Yeah.
Only half of the wall's health, and we ended up finding more than halfway across the world. I'm at a total loss. I can't deal with the hungry. They can hit me for 100 health a pop, and with the wall constantly spawning more of them, often with them coming at me from behind, there isn't a good way of dealing with them. This is what the Knight's Edge excels at, and apparently nothing else. My hope is that an Inferno Potion could potentially take the place of the Knight's Edge to deal with the hungry, and with another Blood Moon happening, a Shark Tooth Necklace we could upgrade to a Stinger Necklace would also be a massive help. Sadly, no Shark Tooth dropped, even after farming with a Battle Potion and Water Candle active. We're going to try and focus on bees, replacing the Shield of Cthulhu with the Hive Pack.
Bees!
The High Five does so little damage and spawns so few bees so as to be nearly useless. So we are relegated to almost only using the Beekeeper, and I also have no Inferno Potions because I couldn't get the fish for it, but we're giving the bees an attempt. The end result was the same, with me running out of arena and still only getting the wall to about half health. So we'll wait till we get an Inferno Potion this time. And Relogic, can we change lava fishing so it's not so painful to do? Sometimes I'm here for 5 minutes waiting for a single bite, even with decent fishing gear.
All right, let's hope this goes well. The Inferno Potion might save us. There we go. That's working really well. A lot more damage, a lot faster. We need that. All right, retreat. Retreat and heal. Retreat and heal. The Inferno Potion is helping, if no other way than just with the knockback it's providing.
It's effective, but we still have to be super careful when approaching the wall. I didn't do it here, but we have to be super slow and tank the laser damage so we can carefully guide the clingers to one spot so they don't get behind us. Running out of arena again, we lose, but having does a lot more damage. So, Inferno Potions are key. We need more upgrades though, so we seek out a sharpening station for armor penetration and get even more by consuming one of our bloody tears to finally get a Shark Tooth Necklace. Hopefully, this will finally push us over the edge.
Oh, I'm not ready for this. Let's do this thing. We have a whole lot more armor penetration now, and I have a little bit more regen. Wow, I'm pretty sure we went through those clingers much faster than normal. Oh, holy cow. Dude, is our armor penetration actually that busted? We're rocking it. We're rocking it. Oh, this is actually massive. All right, let's back up. Play it safe. Play it safe. Don't get via lasers. Back in it. All right, all right. Oh, the hungries aren't even getting me, so just focus the eyes. Those will do more damage. Yes. Oh, hot dog! Oh, dude! Oh, we spent so long on that and we just creamed it.
Finally, we enter hard mode, where the possibilities open up a lot. There are a lot more melee weapons pre-mechs than you might realize, although it's also the part of progression where it's harder to know what weapons are truly unused. So all weapons I used up through the mechs and many afterwards, I ran polls in my livestream chat to double check how widely used they appear to be. Our first step is to break altars and get to mining ores, of course. We're going to want armor, but also the Knight's Edge is the melee weapon most people stick with at this phase of the game. Very few people, it would seem, even bother with the hard mode ore swords. So we'll blast through the mining of ores. With full titanium armor and a titanium sword, we're going to head to the Tundra. There are 3 melee weapons down here: the Frostbrand, Icicle, and Amarok. But despite just about all yo-yos being generally underutilized, the Amarok is a standout exception, so we won't be using it. The Frostbrand and Icicle, on the other hand, are less popular. The Icicle has a 1 in 300 chance of dropping from any enemy down here, and the Frostbrand has a 30% drop chance, but only from ice mimics.
You can get me a Frostbrand, that would be awesome. Yes! Oh! Hot dog!
We'll call that good and start progressing through more of hard mode, farming for wings, so we'll at long last have some fall immunity, but I do need more materials for wings, and we'll focus on collecting souls of light for angel wings, and hope we come across a hollowed mimic or 2. The flying knife is potentially one of the most popular early hard mode melee weapons, but chat agreed it's underutilized, so we can use it if we luck into it. Another weapon we could craft is the Tao of Power, Deos, I call it, if only we could get the shards for it.
Wow, that was weird. Okay. Have dark mummies always done that? Why are they dashing at me? Why are they leaping? What is that? Oh, we got a dark shard. Oh, light mummy. Light shard? light shard. Cool.
The only problem with wanting to craft the Tao of Pow is that I need more souls of light, and the enemies down here have been totally unhelpful with that. The skeleton merchant, on the other hand, was quite helpful, selling us everything needed for a yo-yo bag and the Format C yo-yo. This makes yo-yos more viable, but probably not the strategy I'm going to focus on. After far more farming than any person has ever done for souls of light, we can finally make angel wings, and with even more farming, we can craft the Tao Pow, a flail I apparently have long undersold.
Hold up, is this that? Have I been sleeping on this weapon? Have I been sleeping on the Tao Pow? Dao Pow? Da Pow? Da Bow?
Ideally, this flail will soon be replaced by an even better flail, the Crippler, which is why I'm making a platform over the ocean. We need to take down some blood eels. We got 2 bloody tiers, so hopefully we'll be able to get the eels we need.
That's the hemoglobin shark. Oh, ooh! Not the blood eel. I just saw the red text and was like, yes, let's get that. Okay. Oh, dude, it's strong. Okay, is there a way to keep it from shooting? I guess being close to it seems to be working. Oh, what the dude? What was that? Give me blood eel or give me death. Can I stop getting crates and get the blood eel? Please?
We went the entire night and not a single blood eel, not a single clown to drop a banana ring. Nothing. Bupkis! We did fish up smaller blood moon enemies in an effort to get a bloody tier, but had no success with that either. Before going on to the next night, we'll shimmer titanium to adamantite. And with that done, we'll sleep and hope for better luck this time around, and our luck is going to be much better with this chumcaster dropped early in the night.
There we go. These are just much, much harder to dodge than wyverns. Should tear it apart if I can just hit it. Oh. Play it safe, play it safe. Oh, I knew it wasn't a guaranteed drop.
We ended up dying to the next blood eel, but soon after we started fishing again, a clown showed.
Oh, well, that's definitely an underutilized one, but for good reason.
We got one more blood eel, took it down, but no Crippler, and no bloody tears remaining. So we now have to wait for a natural blood moon if we want the flail, or banana ring. There are some other weapons we can get, but I think we'll just head to the mechs. Before that, we need to clear out the old one's army though. All the weapons from this event are underutilized because it's so annoying to farm. We just gotta make sure we have the emblems for a 2nd tier staff after we down the first mech so we can farm it in the future. The first of the mechs that we'll target is the Destroyer.
There you are, tear them apart. Yes! Oh, Tao Pow. Oh, you beautiful machine. Ooh, there we go. Oh, that was so much better than I thought it would be. Okay, I'm getting hit by like every laser the probes are shooting. Hold up. This was going great until the probes became like marksmen. Okay, why are there so many other mobs here? Man, it would be nice to have the Crippler for this battle. That would have been so good. Okay. Oh, shoot! Stop! Why are there so many other enemies?
I was initially feeling pretty good about it after shredding half of the boss's health before it had fully spawned in, but after a second failure, I'm feeling much less certain about my chances. A whole bunch of soul farming later, which is still taking much longer than it usually does, and we have enough for the different boss summons and make a key to summon a hollowed mimic. I thought the flying knife was a more used weapon, but chat voted it as not a commonly used one, as I mentioned earlier. Doesn't matter either way because it didn't drop and Skeletron Prime is about to spawn naturally.
We're toast. We're lightly buttered toast. Oh, okay. Here we go. Just pow the head when it comes by and go from there. I think we might just end up focusing the head. Well, getting rid of the hands would be a really big help. I did not anticipate going straight for the head like this. Oh, come on. But also notice how there's so much fewer enemies this time than all the times I fought Destroyer. Also, was that one laser? I swear that one of those lasers was slower than the other. That almost messed me up. I was not expecting this to go so well. Let's go. Okay, no more lasers. Thank you. Right at the end. Okay, that works. All right. Never in a million years would I have thought we would actually get Prime first.
With the hollowed bars, we make the gun gear and jousting lance. I was thinking I could use these booster tracks to take down the Destroyer with the lance, but Then I got the destroyer to spawn in a nice open spot to shred half of its health, and then didn't use the track once to take down the mech.
Oh no. Woo! Ooh, that was too close. Ooh!
I don't like my equipment for twins, but when was the last time anyone used the light disc? Another Soul of Light farming session later, and we have the light disc, as well as a private army, which I'll soon learn none of my weapons are well suited for.
The moment it touched the ground, boom, vaporized.
Pirate's gone. We take down the twins with light discs, the frost brand, and cursed flasks. I tried the second tier Old One's army with my current equipment, but that didn't exactly go well. So let's go for the chlorophyte upgrades, like the partisan, a surprisingly solid spear weapon and full armor. The two swords are good, mostly the claymore. The saber isn't very interesting, or I don't see why you would use that instead of the partisan. With these weapons, there isn't much else I could actually, collect. It's not a lot out there. So we're going to start making the Plantera arena. We'll also do a bit of hunting for life fruit, and after we'd combed through most of the jungle and got about half as much of what we need, I think now is a good time.
Take out Plantera! We're going down, you feel the plant with my underutilized melee weapons. I got hit immediately. Guys, I suck. We're getting hit way too much for the first phase. All right, there we go. Let's use this one. This will give me the good knockback I need against the little bitey boyos. Let's be careful with this. Go up and over, up and over. Come on, don't get hit. I got hit. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh, I did not play that very well.
I often forget, but arguably the most important function of a weapon in second phase of Plantera is that it can knock back the little clingers. I guess you wouldn't need that with certain arenas, but for the ones I do, it's massively important. And the Claymore, although good for this, isn't exactly ideal. Even so, I still think if I played it a bit better, then the battle would go better. Unless the game decides to cheat.
Oh, come on. Stop ramming into oh, whoa, what the heck? What? What is this? What is this nonsense? What? No, that's cheating! That is cheating! No! Hold up! Hold up! That is not fair! Dude! You can't just summon those things from Plantera Pass! Oh, and she gets more! Oh, I was hoping she just wouldn't get them! Dude! This is messed up! This is messed up in so many ways! We need to play this so well. We need to play this so well. We can't let her win when she cheated. We can't let her win when she cheated like that. Okay, come on, hang in there, hang in there. Oh, the spider. Ooh. Oh no. Oh, the stupid honey. Oh, I did not expect that to cause a problem. Thankfully, we didn't take much damage, it seems. Okay. Why are you moving so fast? Why are you moving so fast? We're doing it the slow way, but we're accomplishing the objective. There we go!
It was a lot of effort, and we didn't get a single melee weapon. Not the Seedler or the Flower Pow, both of which tend to get ignored, but not because either of them are bad, but because farming Plantera is annoying. We made the switch to Turtle Armor and then embarrassed ourselves by dying to Plantera, so we took a moment to find more life fruit before taking her down again.
Don't die. Whew! Okay, too close. Way too close. Flower Pow! Awesome, now we got a weapon. There's another Plantera bulb here. That would be a good chance for us to kind of get used to the Flower Pow. Use it a little bit. I am loving this though. This is actually really nice. Just kind of throwing it out there and it just hitting things for me. Oh, this is pretty good. Oh, I'm liking this a lot. Flower Pow, let's go.
The Flower Pow deserves a lot more credit than I've ever given it, and I had no idea you could just spin it around you and it'd shoot at everything around you. It's got a surprisingly large amount of utility for a flail weapon.
And Seedler me? Yay! Awesome!
I learned a while back that the Sealer is a lot better than I give it credit for. I was surprised that its and the Flower Power are pretty much the same on damage output against Golem. Both have very similar use cases, at least against, Golem, or, maybe it's just the same utility. Maybe if the Flower Pow head was used to strike all 3 Golem parts, it'd work better, but I don't know. On the second attempt, we took down Golem.
Oh, Big Saw. Thank you. I'll take that. Sunstone. I didn't get a weapon. That's... What?
As far as melee weapons go, Golem drops the Possessed Hatchet and Golem Fist. The Hatchet is actually pretty good, but the Golem Fist I can never imagine being useful in a million years. We're not going to farm for those weapons either, because what we got is more than good enough and arguably better. We just need Beetle Husk for the Beetle Armor upgrade. There are plenty of unused melee weapons we could farm for now. In the dungeon, there's the Keybrand and Kraken. Both we could use, but I still think that what we got is better than those. We still want Master Ninja Gear and Ectoplasm for the moon events though.
A tabby, thank you. Of course we get 2 tabbies, okay. Oh, 3 tabbies? 3 Abonelees and 3 tabbies. I don't know whether to be impressed and happy or salty. A 4th tabby. Love that. Another tabby? We got 5 of them? Are you kidding? Can I shimmer this? Relogic, please make it shimmerable. Oh, black belt, finally.
A Paladin shield would be great, but Paladins are not spawning at all, so we'll just not worry about that and go to the Old One's army.
Oh, dude, they're already getting this far. No shot. There's no way we're clearing this thing. Yeah, we cannot beat that.
Here's the thing. I forgot to farm the 2nd tier army, so I only have the 2nd tier staff, and as far as I'm concerned, you can only actually beat the Old One's army 3rd tier in Master Mode if you're a Summoner main. This is the primary issue with this run. To get a number of the unused weapons, we often need better weapons than the unused ones. So even though I'd love to use some of the Old One's army's weapons, it's just not doable unless you create a whole new build. I'd also farm for the Vlaron, but it was ruled to be an used weapon by chat. A weapon that is an option then is the Horseman's Blade, but more importantly, I want to get a Witch's Broom so I can specialize my accessories for survivability against Moonlord. The Flower Pow does wonders against the moon enemies, and the Sealer fills in the gap where the Flower Pow struggles, but that's not to say it's the best weapon. It took all 3 minutes to defeat 1 Pumpkin, who dropped nothing. Still was able to defeat 2 Pumpkins, but...
Wow, neither of them dropped a weapon. That's not nice.
Now that it's day, it's got me thinking about Moonlord and the best weapon I could use against him that isn't the flying dragon that Betsy drops. The answer, the Influx Waver, a weapon that's much more borderline, but typically people just use the Terrorblade since it's infinitely easier to craft, use, and a lot of the time does more damage than the Influx Waver, which primarily shines against single targets at close range. Defeating the saucers with the Sealer was an immense pain, and slow as molasses.
Don't mess this up at the end, and please drop an Influx Waver on the first one. That would be so helpful, even just for clearing the rest of this event. And actually a key card would also be helpful. Influx Waver, oh thank you!
An improvement? Yes. However, the Influx Waver was still terribly slow at finishing the invasion. I see why people don't generally use it. The projectiles are slower and much smaller than the Terrorblades, making it a whole lot harder to even hit the targets. Even if its base damage is better than the Terrorblades, which it is, that doesn't matter if you hit your target far less. In the end, defeating the Martians took 1 night and 2 in-game days to clear, and no Cosmic Card key dropped.
That's fine, we'll go to the next night, we'll get a Witch's Broom, I prefer it anyways. Hopefully, Witch's Broom doesn't take forever to get either. Wow, I still haven't got a single Pumpkin Moon or Pumpkin drop. That's rough, man. And we got a Dark Harvest. Alright. Hopefully, we don't need to fight it 2 more times. That would suck. Oh, wow. Dude, I'm having the single worst pumpkin luck ever. 5 pumpkins, only 1 drop. Still nothing. Wow. Wow, dude. Worst pumpkin RNG ever. Should have really high odds of dropping a bloody witch's broom. This is not nice. Are you kidding? Another stag launcher? How could you have this bad luck? How could anyone have this bad luck? All right. Hey, you finally dropped some things. That's cool. Not the horseman's blade, but you know, something at least. Still no witch's broom. Oh my goodness. Did it really drop nothing? I don't think it dropped a witch's broom. Oh, it did! Oh, thank you! Oh, finally! That took bloody forever!
The Influx Waver and Witch's Broom in hand, the rest is history. There are no more unused weapons for us to take advantage of. It's just the bosses we need to defeat and the pillars, of which only the Stardust Pillar wasn't much of a problem. Everything took forever to kill, but I guess I'm also building out the defensive build rather than an offensive one, so maybe that's just my fault, but at the same time, even with the same build, other weapons often do a lot better than the Influx Waver. Have you ever tried hitting a Craltipede with this weapon? I didn't think so. It did work pretty alright against the Vortex Pillar when I had this sort of accidental meat grinder created with the shoebox house, and the Nebula floaters were bulky as all get out. And when Moonlord spawned, I had to use every single bit of my knowledge to dodge against this boss, so I'd have enough time to take it down with my high survivability, covering for any errors I made along the way. It was long, and I wouldn't recommend the Influx Waver as a Moonlord weapon, but it's fully capable of sealing the deal.
All right, do we get any melee weapons? Any melee weapons? Oh, we got the Star Wrath, the underutilized melee weapon of endgame. Oh, the sound of that. Oh, dude, that's loud.
If you enjoyed that video, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to know how I got so good at defeating Moonlord, you should check out this video right here, where I had to figure out how to defeat Moonlord in the Get Fixed Boy seed.